Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today. I'm Michelle Ringuette with the American Federation of Teachers, and it is my honor and pleasure to be able to introduce this panel. I think we're going to have a robust conversation and really want to bring you into it. So take your notes, get your questions ready as people are talking, and we're going to leave as much time as we can for you to get engaged and ask those questions at the end. A few housekeeping notes. There's a hashtag for today's event because it's 2018 and that's what we do. And it is hashtag midtermed, MIDTERMED. And this is, of course, the Schenker Institute's panel. I have, unfortunately, have to give the regrets for two of our panelists. Unfortunately, Dean Diana Hess of the University of Wisconsin in Madison was struck down with the flu earlier this week and unable to travel. And one of our rising stars, Teacher of the Year, Johanna Hayes, has been summoned on the Hill for a mandatory orientation. We want her to have the best possible supports to go in there and do a tremendous job advocating for teachers and students in public education. So we relieve her from her duties here today so that she can get a great start coming this January. So. With no further ado, we are all here today to talk about the midterm elections, but also to talk about politics in general and education. And I have three extraordinary panelists who each come at this world in a different way, and I think bring different perspectives to the very important work that is done both in classrooms around the country, but also in policymaking around this country. So first, on my far left, I have Domingo Morel. Domingo is Assistant Professor of Political Science at Rutgers, and he's also this year a visiting scholar at the Annenberg Institute for School Reform at Brown. He's also the author of a book called Takeover, Race, Education, and American Democracy. I'm hoping we get a chance to talk a little bit about that. And he's a co-editor of Latino Mayors, Power and Political Change in a Post-Industrial City. He's the co-founder of the Latino Policy Institute at Roger Williams University and the past president of the Rhode Island Latino Political Action Committee. So thank you so much for being here. Okay. Permission to clap. Okay, on Domingo's right, we have Michael Petrelli. Mike is president of the Thomas B.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
Planned.
It's all been planned. He's research fellow at Stanford University's Hoover Institution and executive editor of Education Next. He's a distinguished senior fellow for Education Commission in the States. He's the author of The Diverse Schools Dilemma, the editor of Education for Upward Mobility, and he's been widely published in everything from the New York Times to the Washington Post and the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, Slate, and he appears frequently on television and radio, frequently debating Randi. He helped to create the U.S. Department of Education's Office on Innovation and Improvement and the Policy Innovators Network, and he says very long ago, the Young Education Professionals. So thank you for being here, Mike. Okay. And finally, to my left, we have Randi Weingarten. She is the I'm not sure you're on my left always, but frequently. She is president of the 1.7 million member American Federation of Teachers. She's also president of the Schenker Institute. She was president of the United Federation of Teachers for 12 years, and she also taught at Clara Barton High School for a number of years, which is in Brooklyn's Crown Heights neighborhood. And she worked with her students who won several state and national awards debating constitutional issues. Randi has served on... That's true. She has served on an education reform commission convened by New York Governor Andrew Cuomo. And she's also been appointed to the Equity and Excellence Commission, a federal advisory committee chartered by Congress. Obviously, on all education issues of the day, in which there have been many, particularly in the last 2 years, any one of these speakers can be found writing and helping shape both the narrative, but also how people are thinking about how we engage, how we can improve, how we can refine what's done out there. So I'm very excited to hear from each of them today about the 2018 midterm elections, but more importantly, the role education played in the outcome and then where we go to next. And with that, I'm going to ask Domingo if he would please open up.